This is the month 6 update for my first planted tank that is based around using epiphyte plants on rocks and driftwood. So starting off with the fish, and the 9 neon tetras in this tank seem happy now, and there's minimal chasing compared to 2 months ago. I'm guessing that they were spawning back then, but it is nice to see them calmer, as my honey gourami really didn't seem to like their higher activity levels when they dart around constantly. I do really like the look of neon tetras, and I am curious how a larger group of them would act, so I am looking to stock my 40-gallon tank once it's rescaped with neon tetras. The 10 chili rasboras in here seem to really enjoy the tank, and they're showing their bright red colours. They just tend to keep to themselves and swim around the tank looking for food and pretty much avoid their tank mates and don't really do anything else. I might actually be giving the chili rasboras away to one of my friends because he's scaping his first tank with his daughter for her birthday, and she really wants chili rasboras, but they are really difficult to find where we live. My Corydoras have been acting really strange this month compared to how they usually act, and the 3 adults really haven't been doing much. I'd say about half of the day they do normally rest anyway, but the other half of the day they're usually swimming around the tank acting crazy looking for food, and they just haven't been doing that this month. I'm not sure if there's something wrong with them, and I have been looking at them closely to look for any obvious signs of a problem, but for now I'm just going to wait out and let them do their own thing. One of my favourite things about this month is that the honey gourami has been out and about a lot more. His brother jumped out of the tank and died a few months back, and the remaining honey gourami seemed to take it really badly, as he did hide all day. It's been great seeing him get his confidence back, as these really are beautiful little fish, and I do want to get another little honey gourami friend for him to keep him company. Moving on to the inverts in the tank, and the shrimp have been breeding like crazy again. I'm not sure if these 2 Amano shrimp are carrying eggs, but their pleopods look like there's definitely something in there, but unfortunately their young won't survive in fresh water. The cherry shrimp in this tank just keep on having babies, and it really does just seem that once they decide it's time to make babies, there's no stopping them. At the time of editing these clips, I've already rescaped the tank, and I did remove everything during the rebuild, so here's a little clip of the 115 remaining cherry shrimp and the Amano shrimp from the tank. 6 months ago I added 12 cherry shrimp to this tank when I initially built it, and there's 115 in there. I've gave well over 100 away, and I've moved at least 35 of them out of this tank into other tanks, and they just breed like crazy. The horned neurite snails I added last month haven't really done anything to the blackbeard algae, if I'm honest. They just kind of go around, eat normal algae, and then dig into the substrate and seemingly sleep there. Moving on to the plants in this tank, and the blackbeard algae really has taken over the tank now, and it's on pretty much every single plant in here. I have tried Dawson Sea Chem Flourish XL to deal with the blackbeard algae, and it does seem to kill the BBA and turn it red, but the bulbitis plant in here started to melt after its use, and that's the one that's infected the most. The Anubias, Java Fern and Java Moss that I dosed this with all do seem fine after the initial dose of the Flourish XL, but individually doing these at a safe dose for the tank is going to take months. Some of the plants in this tank are also starting to die too, so I've just decided to rescape the full thing and be done with it. I'm a big believer in learning by doing things, and I've learned an absolute ton of stuff about keeping planted tanks with this tank over the last 6 months. Due to the rescape, I will be ending this individual follow along on YouTube, but I will be starting a new one based around the rescaped version of this tank being a dirted community tank. Here's a sneak peek of the tank after the rescape, and so far everything seems to be going really well. The Corydoras are still acting a little strange, but everything else seems to have settled in without problems. Unfortunately, I have had to throw the majority of the plants away from the original setup because there was blackbeard algae all over them, and a lot of them were dying or melting, but I have tried to save as much as I can. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, I hope you have a good day, and you'll see this tank in next month's update with the first entry of my dirted community tank follow along.